So, have you ever thought about a journey that could be both incredibly challenging and at the same time deeply empowering? Well, today we're going to dive into one of those journeys, becoming a surrogate as a single mother. And we'll be looking at this through the firsthand account of Courtney Houseman, a woman who has actually walked this path, not once, but twice. And that quote right there really gets to the heart of it, doesn't it? I mean, the whole idea of going through something so huge on your own, yeah, that can feel intimidating, for sure. But on the flip side of that feeling is this incredible sense of empowerment. So this explainer, it's all about navigating that path and turning that intimidation into pure strength. And our guide for this is Courtney Houseman. Her perspective is just so valuable because for her, this isn't just some theory. She has lived it. As a two-time surrogate who is also a single mom, she gets the unique challenges and the very real questions that come up. Okay, so now let's get into the nitty-gritty, the practical stuff. We're going to tackle those big how questions head on. You know, the ones that are probably the first things that pop into your mind when you're a single woman, even just thinking about surrogacy. How does all of this actually work in real life? Yep, this is usually hurdle number one. And let's be honest, it's not just for single mothers. The whole medical side of things can seem pretty overwhelming, and the thought of giving yourself shots, that can be a big flashing question mark for pretty much anyone. So what's really great here is how this breaks that fear down into steps you can actually manage. First up, practice. It's like any new skill, right? It might take a minute to get the hang of it, but you will get there. Second, and this is huge, you are not flying blind. You'll have a personal case manager who's literally just a phone call away to guide you. And finally, there are all these little tips and tricks that make doing the injections by yourself way, way easier. And here it is, the next critical question. And this one is definitely unique to moms taking on this journey. Making sure your own kids are taken care of is, it's everything. It's a logistics puzzle that absolutely has to be solved from day one. And check this out, the solution is basically a two-part support structure. First, the screening process itself makes sure you have a reliable personal support system. You know, friends or family you can really count on. But it doesn't stop there. The system gets that help isn't always free, so financial compensation for childcare is actually written right into your surrogacy contract. All right, so we've covered the practical hows, but what about the emotional side of things? This is where we shift gears a bit, from logistics to the human support network that's designed to make sure no surrogate, single or not, ever feels like she's going through this all by herself. And this is a really personal and completely valid fear. Pregnancy is an emotional roller coaster, and the thought of navigating all the hormones, the tough days, and just the whole experience without a partner's support, well, that can feel like a really big barrier. But here is the direct, powerful answer to that fear. While you might not have a partner in the traditional sense, you are so far from being alone. There's a whole support system built into this journey, designed to be right there for you every single step of the way. So what does that support actually look like? Well, your case manager is way more than just a coordinator. Think of them as your personal guide, helping you juggle the pregnancy with your life as a mom, with your job, with everything. They get the huge mix of emotions and hormones because they've seen it all before. They are, as the source says, your biggest cheerleaders. And now we get to the why. After working through all of the challenges, both practical and emotional, what's the ultimate payoff? This final part is all about that profound sense of accomplishment that's waiting for you at the end of this journey. This really brings us to the core message of this whole thing. It acknowledges that, yeah, the challenges are absolutely real, but it puts them in perspective against the backdrop of this final, incredible reward. And there's that idea again, straight from someone who's actually been there. Did you catch those last three words? On your own. That is so key. For a single mother, this journey isn't just about helping create a family for someone else. It's about proving to yourself that you can achieve something truly monumental, all on your own strength. So we'll just leave you with this final thought. What if the very thing that seems like the biggest hurdle, doing this as a single mother, is actually the source of the greatest reward? It's an incredible act of independence, compassion, and strength, all rolled into one. Definitely something to think about.